Happy New Year, everyone. 明けましておめでとうございます。Welcome to PCC Southeast Center's 11th Annual Asian New Year Celebration. My name is Naho Katagiri. I'm the chair of the Asian New Year Committee. This is the year of the snake. Please raise your hand if you are born in the year of the snake. Great, thank you. Last year was the year of the dragon, who is called the big brother, and the snake is called the little brother. A big thank you to our sponsor, Al's Shoes and Boots Store, for their generous donation towards this year's event. Now, here's Jeremy Selinger.
Thank you, Naho. You did such a great job putting this on. Maybe we could all give a round of applause for Naho here real quick. First off, I want to say Xin Chao, Chuk Mang Nam Moi, and Shin Nin Kwai La. Hello and Happy New Year. My name is Jeremy Selinger, and I'm the student body president for PCC at Southeast, which is our student government. In case you were wondering where the bathrooms are located, they're just right through these doors to the right. One of our volunteers, Anthony, right here, will be here to show you in case you have any questions. Also, so you know, we have many great door prizes located at the desk in the lobby. Just a raffle for $1 each for each ticket. Also, that's the same place you could buy these awesome Year of the Snake t-shirts. So thank you all for coming to our 11th annual Asian New Year event. And golly, do we have an exciting event planned for you. Now please give a warm welcome to our next welcoming speaker, President of Southeast Center and Extended Learning Campuses, Dr. Jessica Howard.
Welcome, everybody. It's a wonderful day here at Warner Pacific, and we're very, very happy that our valued neighbor, Warner Pacific, is allowing us to use their space for this wonderful celebration of Asian New Year. We've been privileged to host this celebration for many, many years at Southeast Center, and we hope to do so into the future with Warner Pacific. We've got a wonderful program today. I'd like to call your attention to the Lion Dance, which will be occurring a little later. You may not know this, but the Lion Dance, which is performed by Northwest Learning Studio, was also performed at our recent presidential inauguration. And so these folks have been to Washington, D.C. and performed for a national audience, and we will have that performance again today. So we're very fortunate. As a matter of housekeeping, if you have any needs today, anyone you see with the red shirt on, those are our volunteers. Many of them are PCC students, and they can help you if you have any questions or needs. So the upcoming year in the Chinese calendar is the Year of the Snake. In the Chinese calendar, the year is 4,711. And in both Eastern and Western countries, the snake has been viewed as a somewhat slippery character, an animal that seduces human beings. But in China, the serpent is considered wise and good-hearted and are even thought to be the beginning stage of a dragon before it is transformed. People who are born in the year of the snake are said to make excellent teachers. So this is a particularly fortunate association between the year coming up and our mission at Portland Community College. So we wish for all of you good fortune and prosperity and happiness for the upcoming Year of the Snake. And now I'd like to introduce Wing Kit Chung, who is our Vice President of Administrative Services. He's a native of Hong Kong. He's been a very strong supporter of Southeast Center and the Asian New Year celebration. He has many qualities of the snake: intelligence, wisdom, and charm. And like me, was born under the sign of the Year of the Snake. Please welcome Wing Kit Chung.
Well, 各位早晨, good morning everyone, or actually afternoon, 午安, 新年快乐, 新年快乐, and we wish you the snake year, prosperous. The fact is, I am a snake, and you probably guess how old I am, but there's an old Asian tradition. Is once you have 2 rounds of snake, you stop counting. So I'm just, 1 round is 12 years, so 2 rounds is 24, right? So you stop counting at 24. Do I look 24 years old? So anyway, thank you, Jessica, and I think welcomed you to the first Asian celebration in the Southeast campus. She came to us from Texas, and just we're so glad to have her be the president in the Southeast. I also really appreciate the Asian community for the support of our Southeast campus here, as at least we're moving towards a campus status in the Southeast, and we're so pleased. If you know this, in the campus just east of here, you know there's a lot of construction going on. So hopefully within a couple of years, you see we have more support facility to house a Southeast Comprehensive Campus. With that, I would really like to introduce our esteemed district president, Dr. Preston Pulliam. Unfortunately, fortunately for him, but unfortunately for Portland Community College, he is scheduled to retire in July. So with that, please help me welcome our district president.
Thank you very much, Wayne Kit. Gung have Phi Choi. I think I just said Happy New Year, correct? All right, good. So you understood that. Look, it is my esteemed pleasure always to come to this event. I want to congratulate all those who work so hard to organize. I know a lot of volunteers and staff members and members of the community came together to pull this and a great event off, and I want to congratulate them. All those who help organize this, and there's such spirit in the room and excitement every year for this. As Wayne Kit mentioned, this is my final year at PCC. I am planning to retire. As I think about many of the exciting times I've had in this job, this rates near the very, very top because it's part of our mission of connecting with the community. It's part of the excitement of everybody here, a celebration in many ways of culture and diversity, and those are priorities for PCC. I want to wish all of you, by the way, for the entire year, the very best of luck. And I've also been asked to introduce now our keynote speaker. I'd like to share with you a little background about Leanna Reeves. She serves as the Chief Legal Advisor for the State of Oregon Governor Kitzhaber. She oversees a portfolio that includes general counsel, advice, review of all laws presented to the governor for signature and review. She previously worked at the Oregon Department of Justice as Deputy Chief Trial Counsel, and she has represented the state of Oregon in many legal lawsuits and actions. She served also in many numerous leadership roles, organizations that's dedicated to equity and justice and diversity in the legal profession. She was also recognized as an up-and-coming leader with the 2010 Portland Business Journal for 40 and under 40 awards, as also the 2011 Up-and-Coming Lawyer of the Year with the Daily Journal of Commerce. In 2003, she received the Martin Luther King Award from the Willamette University College of Law, honoring her work and dedication toward equal civil and human rights. She mentors law students, and she has been a Mentor of the Year by both Willamette University and Lewis and Clark Law School. She is also active in the adoptee community of children, where she's adopted from who were adopted from South Korea to Western family. It is a great honor that I introduce Ms. Leanna Reeves.
Thank you, Dr. Pulliams, for the introduction. How's everybody doing? Good? Happy New Year. I want to thank everybody for including me in the Portland Community College Southeast Center's 2013 Asian New Year celebration, the Year of the Snake. The 2013 Year of the Snake is meant to be a year for steady progress, focus, and discipline. And this is a fitting message for me and for all of you who are pursuing your education, your careers, or your life dreams. So I want to take just a few moments to talk a little bit about my journey, how I've approached my life, and most importantly, how education has shaped my journey. From the outside, my journey probably looks pretty typical and straightforward. My parents stressed from an early age that I would go to college. Education was very important, and I never doubted in my mind that I would go to college. And after graduating from high school, I went on to Willamette University. I got a 4-year degree, went on to law school, and started my life as a lawyer. In 2011, I had the privilege of being asked by Governor John Kitzhaber to be his legal counsel after 10 years at the Oregon Attorney General's office. So looking from the outside, I think my life looks pretty seamless and a fairly predictable and privileged story. But there are parts of my story that aren't as predictable and that aren't as obvious from the outside, and it's those parts that have most influenced my life. My story begins in South Korea. When I was just a few days old, I was abandoned at an orphanage. Out of the hundreds of thousands of children that were adopted from South Korea, I was very lucky. I was left at an orphanage. Many of my adopted friends were left at train stations, behind dumpsters. I was left neatly at an orphanage like a package. My childhood was pretty typical. I was raised in upstate New York, where my parents lived at the time, but when I was 12, my parents decided this crazy idea, they're gonna move from New York to Coos Bay, Oregon. So I don't know if you've been to Coos Bay, but it was a pretty big culture shock for me, coming from New York to a small town on the Oregon coast. But it was a culture shock for the community as well, because I was one of the few people of color in that community. I managed to sneak through high school without much incident, but during my freshman year of high school, a group of girls started harassing me. They started following me around, picking fights with me. Today we would call it bullying, but back then we didn't even have the vocabulary to really talk about what was happening to me. But this group of girls, they would wait for me outside of my classroom, by my locker, outside the gym, and they would line up and they would want to fight me. And it was a cycle. One girl would pick a fight, we'd both end up in the principal's office, we'd both get suspended. I'd come back, the next girl would line up, we'd get in a fight, we'd both fight, we'd end up in the principal's office, I'd get suspended. But there were many of them, right? But there was just one of me. So as my suspensions were getting much longer, they just had one. And these girls had a plan to get me expelled from school, and their plan was working pretty well. It wasn't just the physical fights, though, and anybody who knows anything about bullying knows it's really about the emotional part of bullying. These girls would harass me, they would put racial epithets on my locker, they made prank phone calls to my home, they isolated me from any friends that I had, and I felt very much alone. And this was the first time I really questioned my future, and I questioned education. I was suspended a number of times over my freshman year. In reality, I should have been suspended. I should have been expelled. I should have failed out. But I had a handful of really extraordinary teachers that took the time to meet with me after school, to teach me what I had missed, to let me make up the tests, because they were determined that nothing that was happening to me was going to interfere with my ability to get an education. And I had to make a choice too. I had to decide, am I going to give up? Am I going to let this incident and this part of my life define me? Or am I going to never give up on my education? So I had to make a choice that I was not going to let these girls interfere with my education either. One day the fighting stopped, and I didn't care why. Why it stopped is a different story altogether I won't get into. But what I knew then was that I needed to work really hard, because I knew that education was my ticket out of Coos Bay. It was my ticket away from the past. And so from high school on, my path is pretty seamless and seems straightforward and typical. I went on to college, I went on to law school, and I started my life as a lawyer, and here I am today. But there were still times when I faced some challenges and when I questioned my future. For example, most significantly, I constantly found that I had to fight other people's expectations of me based on their assumptions and stereotypes about me. For example, when I decided I wanted to be a trial lawyer, I had all sorts of people tell me, you can't be that kind of lawyer. You're not aggressive enough. You're not mean enough. You're not, assertive enough. All sorts of stereotypes about me based on what they just assumed was me based on how I looked. And so other people tried to put me in a box, and I had to decide what box I wanted to be in and then force my way into that box. And I decided I wanted to be a trial attorney. I wanted to be an attorney who was aggressive and fought for my clients in court. But I had to adjust and reevaluate along the way. And when some doors were closed in front of me, I had to figure out other doors to open. And some of those doors I would have never imagined or anticipated. But eventually, those doors led me here to be the governor's lawyer. Some could say that my journey is a product of luck, and when you think about it, I started this journey as an abandoned orphanage in South Korea, and today I'm standing here, the governor's lawyer. I mean, what an extraordinary chain of circumstances and fortunate events that had to have led me here today. But I believe I am here not just because of luck, but because I have lived a life of focus and discipline, and the backdrop of this story, really, is that simply there are no shortcuts for hard work. So as we begin the Year of the Snake, I want to leave you with a few parting thoughts based on my journey and lessons learned. Number one, don't let anybody get in the way of your education. Education opens doors that you may have never imagined were there. So don't let anybody interfere with that. And once you get your education, no one can take it from you, and it will open up all sorts of extraordinary possibilities. Second, don't let other people tell you that you can't do something based on their misassumptions about who you are. You get to decide what you get to do and what your path will be. And finally, don't look for shortcuts. Approach your life with focus, discipline, and you will see a year and many years of steady progress towards your education, towards your career, and towards any of your life goals. So I wish you the best, Year of the Snake 2013. I really want to thank you for inviting me to share this day with you. Thank you.
I want to say thank you to all of our welcoming speakers for all your words of wisdom and inspiration. Thank you. In many Asian cultures, it is custom to do a lion dance to bring good fortune to the people. So we're going to start our celebrations of the Year of the Snake here with the lion dance from the Northwest Studio of Learning. Thank you. Well, on New Year's, it is custom for children to pay their respect to their elders. The children do so by bowing 3 times, as shown by Naho here, and they say Happy New Year to their elders. Then they get what they're really after, and that's little red envelopes with money in them. So welcome Dr. Pulliams and Dr. Howard up here to the front. And children, please come and pay your respects to elders.
They're all afraid of us, so we get to keep as much money. Careful, the mic's on.
All kids, come on up to the front. Well, I want to thank you to our guests for their terrific performance, and to all you who came and paid respect to your elders. Special thank you to Dr. Pulliams. As Wing Kit mentioned earlier, this will be his final performance with us, as next year he will be enjoying his retirement elsewhere. So thank you so much for coming out and your continuous participation and support for this event, and we all truly will miss you. Let's give him a big round of applause, please.
You will enjoy our next performance by Taiko. Taiko. Oh. Yeah. It will be a little bit delayed, so just a moment. You will enjoy our next performance by Taiko. Taiko means a fat big drum. Taiko began as a means of teaching children at Richmond Elementary School, where music was no longer offered. Taiko teaches students discipline, friendship, listening skills, and structure, all components of Japanese Taiko. Kazuo Ito, the director, will introduce the various pieces.
Oh my God, that's young. She wants. You want to do painting? She wants. I think her brother.
That was amazing. It's pretty incredible to see such young people with so much talent and discipline. So I want to say thank you to Richmond Elementary and the Taiko dancers. That was awesome. Our next performance is called the Spring Chorus, and it's going to be performed by Min Nguyen and Ton Hoon, both students at Southeast PCC. The song Spring Chorus is a happy song promoting youth, love, and spring. Please welcome Ton and Min.
Nắng chiều lung linh muôn hoa vàng, chờ tia nắng về trong ánh mùa sang. Gió mai mơn man trên đôi môi hồng, người em yêu tìm quên trong cuộc sống. Bướm vân tung tăng bay la đà, mặt trời mây buồn nhạt trôi thiết tha. Ánh mắt mơ trong nơi xa vời, chờ mùa xuân đến đem buồn vui. Rừng xuân ơi xin lặng gió heo mây, để chim muông quay về với muôn cây. Tình xuân ơi sinh rèn nỗi yêu thương, từ bao nhiêu lâu tình sâu muôn hương. Này gió ấy cuốn từng lá rơi, và nắng ấy chiếu màu thắm tươi. Cùng những tiếng hát điệu nhạc dâng chơi vơi, duyên ta xây trong viễn khơi. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. Nắng chiều lung linh muôn hoa vàng, chờ tia nắng về trong ánh mùa sang. Gió mai mơn man trên đôi môi hồng, người em yêu tìm quên trong cuộc sống. Bướm vân tung tăng bay la đà, mặt trời mây buồn nhạt trôi thiết tha. Ánh mắt mơ trong nơi xa vời, chờ mùa xuân đến đem buồn vui. Rừng xuân ơi xin lặng gió heo mây, để chim muông quay về với muôn cây. Tình xuân ơi xin rèn nỗi yêu thương, từ bao nhiêu lâu tình sâu muôn hương. Này gió ấy cuốn từng lá rơi, và nắng ấy chiếu màu thắm tươi. Cùng những tiếng hát điệu nhạc dâng chơi vơi, duyên ta xây trong biển khơi. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la.
Thank you.
Thanks for the loving song, Min and Ton. That was beautiful. Next up, we have the Maharlika Dance Troupe of Portland that will perform 3 traditional dances from the Philippines. First off, I'd like to introduce the dance group. We have Philly Martin, the director and choreographer of the group. Mila Castro. Welcome Ben Avachias and Ruth Reyes. The first song that we'll be dancing to is Luiswi's Kawayan, a Waray folk song that has become popular throughout the Philippine archipelago. The dance is probably a late choreography to the folk song. There are 4 versions of the Luiswi's Kawayan. Please welcome. Thank you very much. That was very beautiful. That was the Luis Kauaian. The next one will be known as La Jota Mancandeña. During the Spanish regime, La Jota dances were the most popular dances performed in any social gathering by the Spanish señoritas and caballeros. The Filipinos saw the dance and then imitated them. The La Jota described in interpretation and adaptation by the old people of Moncada, Tarlac. Hence, the dance is named after the place from where it originated. It is a combination of Spanish and Ilocano dance, steps, and music. The use of bamboo castanets makes the dance lively and delightful. right, let's give them a round of applause. Well, as delightful as that one was to watch, this next performance requires participation from the audience. Please get ready for Tanikling.
Any volunteers from the audience? This is our famous dance in the Philippines. It's the national dance of the Philippines, which is called tinikling. Tinikling is a long-legged bird. So we are trying to imitate the bird and stepping in and out of the bamboos. So any volunteers? Volunteers. We can teach you. From the audience? Esther. Where's Esther? Okay, any volunteers? Come on. All right, here we go. Thank you.
Thank you for all the volunteers that came out to participate as well. It was great to see you. All right, as we get ready for our last performance, please keep in mind we're selling our Asian New Year t-shirts outside at the lobby desk for $5. These fundraisers help us put this event on each year, and we definitely appreciate anything helps. So our next performers are from the Van Lang Vietnamese school dance troupe. The students of this Vietnamese language school that is held every Sunday at PCC Southeast Center and are very much a part of our community. The first group will perform Chong Cam, a folk song from North Vietnam. This is sung during village festivals that are held every year, especially in the spring. Phang Newman is the dance teacher. Please welcome the Van Lang Vietnamese School.
Một bầy đam tình con si
so much. The next group of dancers will perform a graceful and elegant flower dance to a song called Being a Girl is Wonderful. The dance teacher is Lindsay Foon.
Wow, being a girl is so great. Ngày gọi tia nắng long lánh qua hàng mi, chờ nụ cười em tươi lung linh trên phố. Ngại ngùng như thế, đôi môi em khẽ cười, đôi chân em cất lời tình yêu ngày xanh là em hồn nhiên. Vui là con gái ha, vui là con gái ha, yeah. I'm a girl. Dịu dàng đôi mắt biết hát theo lời ca ha. Để mùa thu qua buông hương lên mái tóc. Nhẹ nhàng em nghe trên cao khi nắng về, xua tan đi chút buồn là em hân ghen chờ mong tình yêu. Vui là con gái ha, vui là con gái ha, yeah. Nắng cho em ngày yêu. Vui là con gái ha, vui là con gái ha, nắng cho em màu yêu. Na na na, na 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 na, how I'm a girl. How em xinh thướt tha để cho ai ngẩn ngơ. Ngày gọi tia nắng long lánh qua hàng mi, chờ nụ cười em tươi lung linh trên phố. Ngại ngùng như thế, đôi môi em khẽ cười, đôi chân em cất lời tình yêu ngày xanh là em hồn nhiên. Vui là con gái ha, vui là con gái ha, yeah. I'm a girl. Lạnh lùng em cứ bước như làm lơ, để mặc cho ai kia theo em xuống phố. Ngập ngừng em biết con tim đang rối bời, trông em như hững hờ là em sợ vương lòng ai. Tiếng thương, tiếng yêu, tiếng ca, tiếng lòng nhẹ thôi người ơi, hát em nghe một yêu. Vui là con gái ha, là con gái thật tuyệt. Vừa thấy em tình coi trẻ con. Vui là con gái ha, là con gái thật tuyệt. Lại thấy em từ trầm ngâm. Vui là con gái ha, là con gái thật tuyệt. Thấy em phiêu diêu cùng mây. I'm a girl. Na na na, na 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 na, how I'm a girl.
Thank you so much. Weren't they joyful and delightful? We'll give them another round of applause. All right, I want to thank all the performers and all the guests and all the speakers that we've had today. And now I'm going to hand the mic over to Naho for some closing words.
Thank you so much for coming to celebrate the Asian New Year celebration, the Year of the Snake. We'll see you next year to celebrate the Year of the Horse. Dr. Jessica Howard will give some closing remarks.
I want to thank all of you for coming to our wonderful Asian New Year celebration this year. I want to also thank the Asian New Year Planning Committee. Can we give them a huge round of applause? And I'd like to call out in particular Trina Hing, who has really spearheaded this whole effort for us. One more round of applause for Trina. It is our tremendous pleasure and honor to be able to be a part of the Asian New Year with our community. Thank you so much for coming, and we'll see you next year.